hearing aids are toasted.
Oh, no.
Got the bad news at about 3:30, 4 o'clock today.
Oh, no.
Oh.
We'll pick that one up after our live here.
Yeah.
We're live now. We should be live in the groups. We should be live on our profile. I am here. I'm joined with Christina Nelson. And just an intro of today's live and the purpose behind today's live. We're going to be chatting about the #1 way to attain new Pilates students during COVID-19 and the strategies that Christina has been using for her 7 studios. And if you don't know much about Christina, or you haven't seen any of our lives or our shares in the past, Christina is a 7-studio owner in Lexington, Kentucky. She has an amazing story of how she bootstrapped her way and grew her way as a new transplant from California out in Lexington, Kentucky, and grew her studio into a 7-location studio. And I'm always, one quote that Christina always shares is she didn't grow her studio with a paid offer. And so, that's something that's always stuck with me and resonated with me. And I'm sure she'll share a little bit about that today as we talk about what she's done throughout COVID-19 in order to stay in business so that she can thrive on the other end of this, physical and virtual, and the things that she's doing. So welcome, Christina. It's always a pleasure to chat.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for having me. It's great to chat with you. So I'm excited and just curious to see too how everybody else is doing. We're doing good. I mean, we've weathered the storm, and we're still bringing on new people to the studio. I have 3 new people coming in this weekend. We opened on June 1st, and we are doing everything we can to keep our studio as clean as possible. And I think that is a very important note. You need to let your people know, what are you doing to clean your studio? I know it sounds very simple, but that is what's going to make people feel safe to come in, because everybody's at a different stage, right, of opening. Maybe you're still on virtual. Maybe you're still on pause. Maybe you've been open for a month or 2. Everybody's a little different where they're at in this stage of, the post-COVID-19 big pause. And cleanliness is going to probably make you more money than you ever realized. Okay. With us, they see me physically coming in after every class and using that steam cleaner. They see me physically doing that. Not just, yes, they've seen a video of me. Yes, I've written down everything I'm doing, but I'm sharing and resharing, and they're seeing us proactively do it. Okay. That is so incredibly important right now. Number 1, we will, of course, want to keep our clients safe. Number 2, if you have a team, you want to keep your team safe. Mm-hmm. And you want your team to have the confidence in you as the studio owner that you're doing everything you possibly can to keep your studio clean.
Mm-hmm. I know that you shared in the past in some of our other lives how you created videos and then you broadcast that message, communicated those videos via text message and email. And then, so in addition to, obviously, you guys are keeping things so clean that not only have they seen those videos, but they're physically seeing you in the studio, making sure that everything is absolutely above board.
Definitely. And, we're hearing every day from people that they're saying, you know what, this is the only place I'm coming to right now because I know how clean you keep your studio and I feel safe. And we've heard that from lots of our people coming, and they're like, this is the one place I'm coming. Like, this is so important, but I know how dedicated you are to keeping people safe that I am comfortable coming. And that's also why we're already back to more than half of our regular class load. Mm-hmm. It's also why we'll be back to our normal class load by July. And I believe that's a very strong component to it because we are educating them. We're not assuming they know. Mm-hmm. We're demonstrating, we're showing, even if you don't like to do video. I know myself, I don't always like to do video. I did these videos just showing the cleanliness, and I wore a horrible outfit. It looked horrible, and when you go back and you're like, God. But you know what? The message was important. Only I cared about that, right? Because everybody else got the message. Everything we're doing to keep people safe, telling them how they come in, how they sanitize, how they grab their freshly sanitized straps. I even have a sign next to it, freshly clean and sanitized for you. They pick up the clean straps, they go to their studio room, they attach it, they have all of the props in a little bin. Those are the props for their reformer station. And they know everything they use goes back into that box. And everything needs to be wiped down after each use. I even did a video like, this is how you wipe down the reformer. This is how you wipe down the props in the bin. And then after you wipe all this down, I come in and I personally steam clean. So that does play such a critical role, and I don't want anybody to miss that critical step, because you need to educate them what you're doing to keep it safe, to be above what the CDC is asking us, above what your state is asking you, or your city, or everybody has different government jurisdictions. And we can all thrive in this. You got to be safe. I'm not saying don't do anything dumb. I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing my gloves when I'm cleaning. What else? Or if there's groups coming in, I got my mask on. Being compliant. I don't want anybody to report that, oh my God, she's not wearing a mask. We don't need that. We don't need that type of excitement. Also it's important. I mean, we've always had an offer, come in for a 30-minute private session, intro session. That's 1-to-1, right? And that also lets them know that it's just 1-to-1. They're not coming to be with a group.
Right.
So that's a much safer option for them to come in and to experience Pilates with us, and gives you the chance to really connect with the client, see where they're really at, and how you can help them continue with Pilates in the best method that you want to deliver to them. Is it class? Is it private? Everybody's got a little different protocol. And, we have, people new to Pilates already that are already feeling better, and we know a lot of people have been sitting on their butts for a few months. So a lot of people are coming back pretty deconditioned.
Were you looking at me? Were you looking at me?
Maybe. I don't know. So, it's another thing to think about. Like, just because they were intermediate, right, back in February and March, doesn't mean they're going to start off as intermediate. Even though a lot of them in their head think, oh yeah, I'm going to start intermediate. We purposely did not put any intermediate classes on our schedule. We have beginner plus. We have an all levels class too, but that way everybody's a lot of people are starting back fresh. It's going to take, 2-3 weeks to feel back in the groove. And just a reminder of that too, because you don't want people overdoing it. And then they come back too fast and they're hurt. And they're out 6 weeks, right? And that doesn't help you. That doesn't help your studio.
No.
And so I think it's important to emphasize and to not only be there to help people learn Pilates, to teach Pilates, to help people feel better and do what you normally do, but there's another component now too. A lot of people have been through a lot of different things with the pause. Some people have been really traumatized. Some people have been sick. Some people have barely made it. Some people have had no problem. It's like a vacation, all different sides of the spectrum. And just a reminder to have, some empathy and compassion about it, because everybody's going to experience something different. And it's just another skill set to remind yourself of, even if you're scared. As a student, you're scared. You don't know where the rent's going to come from. I know so many people are going through that. You're not alone. Okay. It's best to talk about that in this group. And I see Eileen. Hey, how are you? I see your post. I like this StreamYard stuff. It's pretty cool, Aaron. That it's not just one approach, it's multiple levels, but you have to have the sensory acuity to really see and notice what's going on to respond the best you can. And even if, you announce that you're opening, people aren't coming in, reach out, find out why. Are they scared? Are they not ready? Are they not financially able to? There could be a lot of reasons. Okay. So just a reminder of that. If you haven't made the steps to reach out to your audience, pretty consistently during the pause, now's the time to start. Now's the time to educate them. Now's the time, if you are ready, to reopen. Now, I know there's different levels of readiness in everybody. Some people can stay closed if they don't have to reopen right away. And that's a very luxury for some studios. There's some studios that have to open or they're not going to make it. Right? So just a reminder of that. And I know there's a lot of studio owners out there that are scared. And I see it every day. I see it in post. I see it in equipment being sold. There's a mass amount of Pilates equipment for sale right now.
Yes, there is. So
many studios are closing. They can't either renegotiate their lease, they couldn't pay their rent, or they've decided they don't want to do it anymore. So there's lots of reasons, right? People are closing their studios. Now, I'm a believer that I know people move better. So to me, it's worth hanging, continuing to thrive, to continue to help people. But I know there's a lot of people having to make some really difficult decisions right now.
So. Yeah, without a doubt. And I kind of want to highlight something that you said earlier in respect to this, in that you had mentioned that a few of your students had come in and said that they are comfortable, and you're the only studio that they're comfortable with coming into, because they knew the cleanliness and the measures that you were taking with their safety in mind. And just kind of to those studios that we're talking about that are in this transition period, either haven't opened or are opening to lackluster results, everybody's worried, and everybody's in the forefront of their mind is am I going to go to this place and be safe? And making sure that you're communicating that. The topic of what we're chatting about here today is what's the number one way to get new students back into the door. And really right now, because at the top of everybody's mind is this place safe? Is where I'm going back to clean? And the fact that your students came in and more or less told you, this is the only studio, this is the only place that I feel safe in, speaks volumes to the measures that you took to communicate the things that you're doing to keep their safety top of mind, and why you're seeing that success. And I'll just kind of pat you on the back, Christina, why you're seeing that success, and probably the studio across town and the studio across the street didn't have that communication in place. And you're going to wind up being the benefactor of their lack of communication and your proactivity of sharing that cleanliness.
Exactly. It's a very important point right now for everybody.
For sure. And
I don't like to clean. I don't like it. But it's my number one job right now.
Well, you're a rock star. I mean, I know you're the business owner. You wear so many hats, and I know that you're getting down and dirty with the steam cleaner. You're in there showing everyone, instructors, students included, everybody that comes in, that, hey, this is what we're about. I mean, health and safety. So, we're keeping you top of mind. And I know that you've shared in the past some of your own health struggles and some of your vulnerabilities that, you've always kept this at the forefront. You've always had to keep cleanliness and sanitation and health at top of mind. And so, I know that you come into this with that at the forefront of your mind already, which is spectacular.
Thank you. And I hope this message, goes out to everybody. And like, if you haven't done this yet, do it. We all have a smartphone. Have an instructor film you, or, have your significant other or friend film you doing what you're doing to clean.
Right.
Doesn't have to be fancy. Does not have to be fancy. If you want to see my videos, I will show you not fancy. I think Michelle in our group has seen them. I shared them with her. One of the Michelles. So disregard the outfit.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that there's a disconnect in so many people think that you have to know all of this tech, or it has to be right, or it's too complicated. And it's really just as simple as having your phone, showing what you're doing, communicating some messaging, doesn't have to be long, just a couple minutes, and then uploading that to your Facebook page and your YouTube channel if you have one, and then sharing that link, and then making sure that you're communicating that to all of your student base and your instructors, and not sharing it just once, but sharing it over and over again. Don't think that you can get away with just sending an email and everybody knows what you're doing.
Exactly. Spell it out. Voice it out.
That's exactly right. I mean, we all know our own behavior is proof positive that an email is not enough, because you get 200, 300, 400 emails a day, and you're probably not going to see. And if you do see the email, you've glanced over it and you're on to something else, and you're all bombarded by all these things, and you've forgotten. So as a studio owner, keep continuing to stay in front of your people, continuing to put that messaging out there. Don't think that you're doing it too much. Your people want to be safe. They want your message. They want you to communicate. And, the response that you've gotten, Christina, is proof positive of that.
Yes. And you all can do this. Super easy, everybody. I know it's not exciting to watch somebody wipe down a reformer. Like, we wipe down the shoulder rest all the way, all around, right? So we want to make sure we get every spot. So, and now, guess what? Newsflash. We ran out of our Clorox wipes.
Uh-oh.
We ran out of our Clorox wipe supply. So we have gotten the Costco baby wipes and added alcohol to them.
Oh.
So anybody else that can't get wipes, we are using the Kirkland brand baby wipes, and I add a little bit of 90% alcohol to it, and they're good as gold. And they're not hurting my equipment. I have balance body, studio reformers, the wood. We have not had any issues. So I just want to share that little nugget with everybody. If you're needing to find wipes, we had to go with Plan B.
Hey, that is a great tip. I mean, God forbid we have some massive, second wave, or people, the experts were still in this first wave. But if there's another run on, these hoarders trying to get these wipes, that is a great tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just want to let everybody know it works great. We've been using it for over a week, and no damage to our equipment, no complaints from the people.
Right on. Great tip, Christina. Let me ask you this. So far we've chatted about kind of, the number one way you've communicated with your existing students, and how that has translated into overwhelming positivity, and they're in your studio now, or remaining with you virtually. Are you communicating that cleanliness with new audience or cold audience in your area? And if you are, how are you going about doing that?
Yes, we are. We are. We put it in our ad. We put it in our correspondence with them. We put it in our follow-up sequences with them before they come in.
Mm-hmm.
We have an updated waiver. That's all in there. So we communicate that with everybody so they feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So in your ad, I know that you run very successful Facebook ads for your studio. In your ad, are you kind of front loading the ad before the offer to highlight the cleanliness, or is there a framework that you're kind of using there?
We have done it a few ways. We did some funny stuff. A picture of Joseph Pilates, and why do you want to learn from a old man in his underwear? Because a lot of the Joseph Pilates pictures are him in his, it looks like he's wearing underwear, right? So it kind of gets people's attention.
Uh-huh.
And then, we share just different tidbits. We're doing everything we can to be above CDC guidelines. We have, our machines are 6 feet apart. What else do we say? I'm not wording it correctly right now, but if you see my ad, you'll see it. What else do we say? We, of course, we just say, if you're experiencing any of the COVID symptoms, you're not to enter our studio. It will reschedule you. Trying to think, just a lot of the basics, like, that we are, we freshly clean and sanitize straps after each use. I even distinguish, we steam it to 338 degrees. What else do we say? We have different blurbs that we've used, and I think they have all been successful because we're continuing to get people. Right. And even when they come in, they see what we're doing.
Are you still using, so we're on the Facebook ad side, we're highlighting, incorporating the things that we're doing for their safety at top of mind, and then also has your offer changed, or has the offer more or less been the same since post
generally the
same offer?
Mm-hmm. And it works.
I know I opened
it works.
For those that might be joining us right now. Christina often says she didn't grow to 7 studios with a paid offer. So my guess is the offer that you have now is either a free trial or a free private session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do it free.
Perfect.
I'm not stuck on a number that I have to be paid. Mm-hmm. Not my worry. I am concerned. I am driven to get people into our studio to help fill my teacher schedules, to help my team, to help us overall. I'm not worried if I'm making X amount of dollars per hour. That's not in my mindset. That's never been in my mindset. I've always built to grow. And I think I have a little more unique perspective on that than a lot of studio owners, because I've always, whenever I've had extra money, I invested in equipment. I wasn't worried about paying myself. Worried about the growth of the business. And I knew with time I would get paid over time. And that's kind of where my mindset always was. And my goal, if I get people in the door and get them to love Pilates and get them to feel better, that they'll stick with Pilates. Keep them excited to stay with the method, to stay with us, and they'll stay with us long term. Right. My team wins because classes are more full, or they get more people on their schedule, and everybody wins. Right. So that's always been my take on it. And I know there's a lot of studios that were like, oh, well, I need to be paid X amount of dollars, or I need to make, $50 per session. Well, that's great, but you probably may not make more than $50,000 a year if a lot of, will stick at that price point. So, that's generally what I've seen. But, everybody's different. But I can tell you, there's great opportunity in that arena. If
Right.
you want to get out of your comfort zone for a month or 2 or 3 or 4 months, 6 months, and you can really help your studio grow. So,
And I would say that a free offer right now actually resonates more with the marketplace than it did previously. In that, well, one, we're going to get some people to take advantage of that free offer, but 2, so you're going to get more people in the door that way. Number 2 is when they do come in, because of everything that's gone on, it gives a real opportunity. The conversation is more or less already open. The walls have kind of come down, the barriers have come down. Like you said earlier, everybody is going through this thing and experiencing something completely different. And so with the free offer, we're going to get a lot of people to raise their hands and come in and say, hey, I want to take advantage of that. And then that conversation with the walls down, with what we're experiencing with COVID, the conversation is much easier about where you're at right now. What are the things that you've been going through? Let's have a heart to heart on how we're going to, what your experience is going to be like here and how we're going to take care of you.
Mm-hmm. Completely agreed. You have that chance to connect. You have the chance to show and demonstrate and have them feel how Pilates can help them. And you have that one-to-one connection, which you can't pass up in a group class. You can't pass up in a big, intro session with 30 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the opportunity to connect and you have the opportunity to share your passion, but you also really need to step up your game and be able to sell Pilates.
Yeah. Let's chat about that for just 1 second as well, because you raise a great point, Christina, the ability to sell. And so often I hear studio owners say, well, I'm not comfortable with giving something away. I'm not comfortable with giving this for free. Or they've tried it in the past and it didn't work for them. And ultimately, we start digging down a little bit deeper and start asking some questions about the sales process. And then sales is kind of like a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
and we start getting onto some pain points about why the free offer didn't work in the first place. And it's because they didn't have a proven sales process or sales intake form or a system to take someone from free to paid. And if you could just touch on that a little bit, I think that would be great.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we are all professionals here, right? If you're not strong in sales, I suggest you learn more about it. Why? Why should you learn more about it? Because that's going to make a huge difference on your studio success long term. Okay? Anybody that comes into our studio, we convert at 94%. Okay? I'm not worried where they're from. I'm not worried what kind of car they drive. I'm not worried what part of the city they're from. I know that I can connect with the person. I know how to demonstrate and show how Pilates can help them for their specific issues, challenges, or another studio I know like to say issues and tissues, which is so lovely. And in that process, we share how it can help them. And in that process, I go through a few different things, and more often than not, they hand me their credit card, and we get them booked into their next session. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's a very important skill set. I know there's a crazy, weird issue about money in Pilates. I don't get it. There's a crazy, everybody wants to be paid what they're worth, yet they feel bad about raising their prices. They feel, like hesitant about paying to learn more. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I didn't get to be where I was by not investing in myself. Okay? I didn't learn all these things miraculously. Yes, a lot I learned by trial and error, but I also paid other people to help me too. I had mentors along the way. Okay? And a lot of people are, oh my gosh, I need to be paid for this. I can't give anything away for free. Okay? Or then, oh, Hippie, my cat made an appearance. Hippie. That we are all deserving of being paid well. Don't get me wrong. We are all deserving of being paid well. Be smart about it. Invest in yourself, and you can get yourself to the next level, okay, with your studio. I say that because I do see so much in the community where they don't want to give anything away for free, or so-and-so came in and, they didn't buy anything, or they were a bad lead, or all kinds of excuses are out there, right? And we all have the opportunity to learn how to sell. We all have the opportunity to figure out what works for you and your personality, your studio style. There's variances, yes. And it's going to be the most important skill set you will ever have. It's not going to be how well you teach Pilates. I'm sorry. It's not going to matter about all your certifications. No. Sure, I have people cursing at me right now. It's going to be about your ability to sell and your ability to close sales. Okay? And if you can sell, you can do anything. Even if thinking of closing and going into something else. Maybe you want to become a realtor. I have some people that are going into real estate. You have to be able to sell. You have to be able to close the deal. It can't be open-ended. Oh, yeah, thank you so much for coming in. If you don't close the sale, how's that going to help your bottom line? So I just want to remind everybody of that because it's such an important skill set. And so many people miss it. So many people are wondering why their studio is not profitable. Okay, so what I recommend everybody today that's listening today, what is one thing in sales that you could learn that will help your studio? Just think about it. What is one thing that you can learn from the sales process that could help your studio? There's multiple parts to the sales process, but just think about what's one thing that maybe you're not comfortable doing. I know for a lot of people, it's asking for money.
Yeah.
Especially when clients are due to pay and maybe they haven't paid in a couple sessions and you're still letting them come. Not everybody is good at saying no. I've seen that. It's hard, right? It's kind of like, it's almost like you want to whisper it out, like that you owe for the last 2 sessions. Because you don't want to embarrass them. But you run a business. You have to pay instructors. You have to pay yourself, or however you're doing it.
Right.
So just a reminder: you have to be able to collect money, unless you're a charity. But I don't know many studios that are 501c3 nonprofit. I can tell you in all of my discussions over the years, I have not met a studio that's actually a 501c3 nonprofit. So, which means you should meet above your bills.
It reminds me or makes me think about a story, or a hypothetical story, like a tale of 2 studios, right? Let's think of your studio and think of a studio across town. And your studio, you have a free offer and a great sales system. The other studio across town, they have a paid offer, and let's say they have a good sales system too. Let's just give them that advantage as well. How many people are going to raise their hands to the free offer, and how many people are going to raise their hands to a paid offer. Just think about that in your mind. The free offer is going to wind up getting more people. They're just going to take advantage of it. You have a good sales system in place, you're going to be able to convert those into paid students. You're going to grow more than Studio B across town, simply by the fact that more prospects are going to raise their hand to come into your studio. The reality, however, is most of the studio across town doesn't have a good sales system in place either, or they don't have one, excuse me.
Or they don't even follow up.
They don't follow up. So they don't have the free offer component in place. They don't have, like we're talking about, the over communication of making sure your students and family know that you're keeping their safety top of mind with cleanliness. They don't have the that follow-up system, and they don't have a good sales system. So which studio is going to win? Is it the studio with the free offer, a good sales system, the communication efforts they're putting out there to let their Pilates family know that they're keeping their safety top of mind? Or the Pilates studio across town that has the paid offer with no sales system or a terrible sales system, and doesn't have that follow-up? So if you visualize it that way, the choice is very clear.
Who do you want to be?
That's exactly right.
Who do you want to be?
Well, awesome, Christina. I think, let me see, I'm going to test something here and see if we can get, we're testing out StreamYard here for everyone. This is a new platform. If you are, if you go live and you do live streams and things like that, we're giving StreamYard a run for its money. We're actually broadcasting out to my personal profile page, 2 groups, and a business page. So we're seeing what sort of engagement we get. And so far, I'm kind of digging the format here. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. It's an interesting new setup here, but hey, it works and just gives us a little variety too.
Yeah. Oh, there's Eileen. She had she says, I had a real awful experience recently. Gave a big discount to encourage and keep my regular client motivated and regular, but she behaved so disrespectfully and took it upon herself to reset her own rate as if it was her entitlement. In addition to turning up consistently late 20 to 25 minutes to the classes. Oh boy.
Oh, you need to fire her.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need a new client.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. It's hard because you don't want to let people go, but sometimes you need to let the bad people go so they don't disrupt other good people turning into bad people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to separate the wheat from the chaff, as it were.
Yeah.
I think she self-identified as chaff.
Oh, sending you a hug. I'm sorry. That's hard because you take it personally. And I think, you do teach quite a few privates right now, or a majority privates. So that's hard.
She says that she did, and she returned her money that same day. Good for you.
Good job. Let's hear it for her, because that it's hard to make that decision, but you don't want that to infect other people at your studio.
Right. I firing a client's like a rite of passage. So, you did a great job, Aylin, because all that would do is cause you more headache and more problems, and those around, besides you, more problems. So you earned a medal and a pat on the back. I mean, truly, the rite of passage is complete.
Yes. You're joining us. It must be early in the morning there. Yeah, she must be up early. Because she's in Singapore, I believe.
If I recall, I believe you're correct, Christina. Yes, welcome. Always good to see you, Aylin. I love your positivity online. Always good to see you.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Yeah. So.
Well, let's do this, Christina. Let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up for now 6 a.m. She said at 6 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. My favorite time, coffee time. Right now it's just sweat in my garage time, which is my shelter in place garage studio, which is 100 degrees outside. I don't know what temperature it is in here.
Wow. I'm in air conditioning. Sorry to rub that in. It's 69 and cool here, according to my thermostat.
Thanks, Christina. Thank you. Yeah, a wound. Throw some salt.
All right.
Well, from here, I will bid you adieu and just let everybody know that's joining us in the groups and on my profile page and wherever you're joining us. If you're a Pilates teacher, you're a studio owner, and you want to work with us, you want to work with Christina, you want to implement the same systems and strategies that we're using and that she's using to have grown from 0 studios to 7 studios as a transplant from California to Kentucky. Join us at pilatesmembersystem.com. Go ahead and fill out the form through there. Book a call with us, and we're happy to get on a call with you and chat to see how we can help implement some strategies into your business. So once again, pilatesmembersystem.com. And from there, we'll sign off and wish everybody a safe and healthy rest of your Thursday afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on where you're joining us from.
Definitely. Hey, everybody. Have a nice weekend. I know we're getting close. It's almost the 4th of July, so be interesting for, a so-called, 4-day weekend, right, when we've been off. Just got a different rhyme to it now. So, well, I look forward to chatting with everybody again next Thursday. Same time, same place, right, Aaron?
Yep, we'll go again next Thursday, 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. I think we'll roll back with StreamYard, and we'll check out some more bells and whistles as we go on the next go around next Thursday, Christina.
Okay, got it. Bye, everybody.
See ya.